So welcome to today's video, guys. You're joined by Buddy, who's also a lover of cheap watches. Because of his very small 1-inch wrist size, the choices are limited, so I have to find obscure sections on AliExpress for wristwatches for dogs. But anyway, that's besides the point, because today's video is about my top picks for you guys, recommendations for another sale on AliExpress. Now the prices have gone up a little bit, so now is a great time to think about getting them at a better price. Most of these watches are definitely at a better price than they normally are. Some savings are better than others, but you know what? If you're going to buy a watch that's a bit better than normal price, now's a great time. Or you got to wait till around November 11/11 sale. So treat yourself and take a look at what I've got to recommend. You love me, don't you? Anyway, Buddy's just chilling out beside me now. He's just my most faithful observant. Anyway, we're going to go through the list now. I've got a Pagani Design. Quite a few in here because if you've seen me before, which I'm sure many of you have, Pagani Designs I'm always recommending. Now I'm going to start with what I've found as a new, really cool looking stealth version of the infamous Pagani Design. It's the PD 1644, also known as the Chronograph Sport, which is a strong homage to a very expensive Swiss watch. You'll know which one when you see it. Now I've gone for the full stealth, and they've got meteorite sort of effect dials as well, and I think that's really interesting. And I think this watch still, I'll put it at the top of my list because this, by the way, is no in particular order because it's really hard to do that. I haven't got the time really, but I'm recommending it because I've had 2 or 3 of these and I've loved them. I keep flipping them for some reason, I don't know why, but because I'm a crazy man, but they're so cheap. They're the kind of watch you can buy, have as a beta, you can dress them up, dress them down. They got a great spec, and for anything way under £100, these are a no-brainer, so that's a great start. Next up, totally jump away from Pagani Design, we've got an Escapement Time. I've had a few Escapement Times now, and I've enjoyed and been impressed by all of them. I've still got one in my collection which I keep, which I just love. It's the one that's paying strong homage to a King Seiko with a blued seconds hand and a very white, off-white dial. That is unavailable, unfortunately, but what is available is a new version of their vintage Longines homage, which I just think is gorgeous. It's a 38mm case size, got a high beat movement. They now do with the black and gold, and I think black and gold looks really cool. It sort of brings it up a notch, because sort of the champagne and gold's okay, but it's a little bit old fashioned. And they do it with the PT5000 movement, which actually for me is a bit of a downside, because I preferred the Miyota 9000 series movement, because I've had better experience with them. The PT5000 is okay, don't get me wrong. If it's a good one, happy days. They should be running really well, and it's a high beat Chinese made move, so should be all right. So I recommend this Escapement Time for those reasons. It's a great all-rounder. Dress it up, dress it down. Happy days. Next up, we've got a couple of CADISENs. Now, I'm a loyal fan of CADISENs. I've reviewed so many on the channel, and I'm only going to recommend sort of 2 which have jumped out to me in recent times. One's the most recent release, one with the palm fronds on the dial. I recommend that one because it's a bit of fun. And as this is a summer sale, this is a summery watch. It'd be appropriate to recommend that. And secondly, the 42mm Caddis Oak is the nickname given, but you can tell by looking at it what it's paying homage to, with the waffle dial and the octagonal dial with the screws, the bezel, sorry. And it's got old brush finish, very chunky looking, slightly squiffy lug to lug length because of that integrated bracelet. But this 42mm works much better for a medium size wrist. You get the 46mm size version if you want a watch that looks a lot bigger and you have a bigger wrist. But they do have sapphire crystal now. Before they didn't, they had hardlex, so they've had upgrades. They do lots of other variations as well, different colour dials and things like that. You can get a full stealth version. There's a great amount of choice, so check those out if you want that kind of look. Next up is a watch I haven't even shared my review with you guys yet. I've spent a lot of time with it, but I'm still working on the review. I had to get this video out first. I'm putting it in the mix because it's from a new store, the Octopus Kraken store on AliExpress. And they do a lot of field style watches. And as you know, if you're a regular for the channel, I love a field watch because I just love their utilitarian look. They're very versatile. They're very easy to wear as an everyday watch. They're so legible to read. And this BALTANY from this company, I love it. It's got so many unique features which help it stand out, such as even a fully loomed seconds hand. And the loom on this watch is outstanding. It's as good as a dive watch, even though it's not a fully loaded applied index, sorry. It's actually printed on, and they've done a really good job at getting the layers in very neatly, and the brushing is exquisite on the case. AR coated sapphire NH38 movement rather than the NH35, so you don't have a ghost position on the date wheel. You don't need a date wheel because it doesn't have a date wheel on it. So yeah, a little bit more if you're spending over £100. This is something you're going to appreciate its build quality, and the fact it's quite rare to get something like this, which is paying obviously strong homage to a Hamilton. If you don't want to spend about £300 to £400 on Hamilton, get something with a very similar look for just over the 100. So happy days. Now we're going to move on to a pair of Addys dives. Now, I've been an advocate for steel dive for many years, and I'm just going through a bit of a phase at the moment of enjoying often a little bit less expense when it comes to buying an Addys dive. And also the fact that, first of all, there's the Captain Willard Homage, which I like as well, even though it's an ugly watch. It's a very utilitarian, kind of beastly looking watch, and I think it works really well. And it's ripe for modding, so that's something that's coming in the future for me. I've still got it in the collection. I think it's a cracking watch for the money. If you've not seen my review for any of these watches, bar maybe one or two, I've reviewed all of them. So if you want to get a bit more information about them, check it out. But I'm only recommending watches which I've had hands-on experience or very close experience with the brand. So the Addys Dive range are proving to be very consistent with my few watches I've bought, with their quality, and the prices are fantastic. About 71 I paid for the Willard Homage, and then I paid £37 plus a few extra quid in taxes. It was 41 in the end I paid for the QUARTZ diver, which, if you haven't seen the vid, I've done a full hydro mod on that, and it's been about 3 weeks now, fully functioning, not lost a second in time and not leaked a drop of oil, and it looks awesome. The loom on these watches is sensational. So if you want a good everyday beta dive style watch, I would recommend these for those reasons. Now that Pagani Design coming in here, it's paying strong homage to another very popular Swiss brand. You can tell by just looking at it. This, for me, was a little bit of a step up in quality, not much, but the price that they put them at now is far more appropriate. Now this watch, it's got a lovely look to it. It does have a really good loom. It's one of the best applications of loom I've seen on a Pagani Design. It wears really well, the brushing's really neat, it's very legible, and it's good fun. So I think it's an all-round great package, again from Pagani Design. And I think that even the clasp was okay on this, it's acceptable. I know they're a bit up and down with their bracelets and things like that, but for this price, I was actually pleasantly surprised. Now, on the theme of Pagani Designs, we've got a few more here. Now, we've got the PD 1695. The reason I'm recommending this is it's paying strong homage to, again, another Seiko watch, but they've done a few more upgrades. The first ones that came out, they were from the sort of the Pagani Design that was spelt badly, and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but the build quality was great, the brushing, the bezel lined up, get a good spec for your money, NH35 movement, a few little squiffy bits here and there regards to like the date window. The date didn't quite fit correctly in the date window. It's quite common, unfortunately. The loom in the hands was actually quite poor, but I did an upgrade on that, and I sold it on, and the customer is very happy with the upgraded version because I put loomed hands that were significantly better on that watch. So again, that's an example. If you get these cheap watches, there's always going to be a compromise. So why not get this watch at a better price? Because originally I think it was a little bit overpriced. During the sale, you can get something like this for a lot more reasonable price. Now we're moving into my last Pagani Design. This is a new release. It's the PD 1690. This, I would say, is a great everyday wear watch. I've not physically seen this watch, but I'm recommending it purely on the basis of past experience with Pagani Design, what you're getting for your money, and I just think it looks great, and it's a decent size. It says 38 on the thing, but I've seen a review already. It's closer to 39, if not more, even closer to 40, and the lug to lug's quite long. So if you're looking for a Seiko Saab-esque sized watch, you know, quite an elegant and proportionally correct 38 with a 45-ish lug to lug, this isn't going to match that. It's going to be a little bit bigger than maybe you would expect normally, but it's still a really decently sized watch. It's going to suit the average wrist, so I'll recommend that based on past experience, and in fact I think it looks great. Now, honourable mentions to slip in here at the end would be Phylida. I've had many Phylidas, and they have progressively been getting better with their fit and finish. They're upgrading the quality of every aspect of their watches, and I like that they're doing these upgrades and not too quickly after releasing an initial model, gauging from their customers what kind of things that they want to see as upgrades. And I've enjoyed and got the homage to the Explorer, the 39mm contemporary size model. But they've done it now with the all brushed bracelet. The original one I had, I didn't like the all brushed, but I think it's just taken up a notch. You know, the loom is actually acceptable. The fit and finish, as I've said before, is really good, and the price is fantastic. So I would really recommend Phylida and many of their other parts of their range they've got. You can't really go wrong for this kind of price, apart from the name. I know many of you are going to say it, and I would agree, the name is a bit bad, but I've got a mod coming actually, just to let you guys know. I'm going to mod my Phylida, the Explorer style watch, with a new dial and a few other bits and bobs, so just to give it a bit of a boost and a change to make it look like a modded watch. But that's it, guys. This is a snappy little sort of zing through my recommendations. You don't want to hear me waffle. If you want to hear me waffle, watch my other videos, because I'll go into more detail with all the pieces, but I've kind of tried to summarize in about 10 minutes why all these watches I've listed to you now are worth buying and are worthy for your collection. You love me, don't you? For a little bit less money. So get your coupons, get your coins, all those kind of things that AliExpress throw at you. Bundle them all together, just snap up a bargain while you can. And it's from today, the 23rd, up to the 28th. So you've got a week's window to spend your hard-earned money when it comes. What are you gonna buy? What's your favourites? I hope I've been of help. Buddy has, he's still beside me now. Been a pleasure sharing this with you. And I'm gonna get cracking on my next video. Lots of work to do, guys. See you soon. Bye for now.